Hi, I'm Mrs. Borton. I have been a teacher at Roosevelt High School since 2003. I can't believe I just said that. That seems like a really long time. But I've also been a short novels teacher for almost a decade, and I am so excited to get second semester started and get some amazing books in the hands of our students at Roosevelt High School. I wanted to do this video really quick to introduce myself to families and to students who are going to be taking class, even just to say hello to students I've had before. And hopefully it will set your mind at ease, or at least give you an opportunity to look over some things that I suggest you look at before our classes officially get started on January the 6th. So let's get started. Let's talk about Google Classroom, shall we? So, Google Classroom is one of the ways that I communicate the most with students. So, I use Google Classroom and I use emails and Infinite Campus to contact students. And Google Classroom is a great way to get out announcements to my students, offer them the ability to have easy access to classwork, and then to also grade and return work on Google Classroom. So I just want to start really quickly, a quick overview of what I'll put on the stream. Every Friday, I'm going to put something onto the Google Classroom class stream that gives an overview about what we're going to be doing the next week. It gives URLs to important resources that we're going to be using in the class, gives a reminder for the class schedule, and then also gives school news. I would definitely suggest that any student who gets one of these announcements on Friday, click on it, so then that way you can see the entire post, because there's some really great things happening at Roosevelt High School. There's some really important things coming up for second semester, especially for seniors, associated with FAFSA and the Bright Futures Grant. And so I try to put anything that I hear about into the school news, so then that way parents and students can stay informed. As far as the classwork section of Google Classroom works, I have it set up based upon topics. One of the first topics that students are going to see is associated with the class materials. You'll also be able to find week one's to-do list and some of the assignments that we're going to be doing in class with each other starting on the 6th. Now, I would love to have every one of my students, family members, or parents linked to Google Classroom. And this is coming more from a parent perspective, not just a teacher's perspective. I am linked to my son Richard's Google Classrooms, and I absolutely love the daily summaries that I get for my son. The great thing is I only had to sign up for it one time. So I gave my email to one of his classroom teachers for Google Classroom. I was put into a Google Classroom then, and I haven't had to do anything since. So if you haven't already done that and you would like to get updates related to your student's Google Classroom account, please just send me an email. Now, how do you go about finding my email? Well, there's probably two easy ways to do that. One is, if you're watching this YouTube tutorial, it's probably because you clicked on a link that I sent you through an email that was sent through Infinite Campus. And at the bottom of that email is my weldre5j.org email account. And so feel free to find my email that way. You can also find my email on the Weldre 5J School District website. If you go to schools, Roosevelt, About Us, staff directory, you will find all of the teachers' emails there. And if a teacher happens to have a class website linked on for parents and students have access to, those are also represented in the Roosevelt High School staff directory webpage. So, if you want to do a little bit more digging into what the class is going to be like, find out a little bit more, feel free to visit my website. I have the syllabus linked there. It lets you know the course description, the student learning outcomes, gives an overview of the hybrid learning and the weekly expectations, the materials, the Google Classroom codes, how the course is broken up based upon the grading criterias. So, all of that is on there, including a list of books that have been rated the top 50 books for teens. Because one of the materials that students need starting on January the 11th is a book. And so I want to talk a little bit about how I go about finding my own books, how I would suggest spending time just searching for books. And the reason why it's so important to have children pick their own books or students pick their own books, because I have every kind of student take short novels. I have students who just need another English elective. I have students who love reading. I have students who hate reading. I have reluctant readers, readers who read at grade level, readers who read beyond grade level. We have them all at Roosevelt. And so I'm going to let you know that there is a book out there for every student. And so, one of the things you can do is start by going to the library in town. I absolutely love the Johnstown Library, and they have an amazing staff there. But I'm going to tell you that Laurel is the teen librarian and media specialist. Just overwhelming sometimes when I talk to her about how much she knows about teen novels. And so I would definitely suggest talking to her. And I have to give it a little shout out to Peyton Eller because she was also a short novel student first semester and just got hired onto the team at the library. And so I know that she would love to help you. Now, the library happens to have a very large teen section, and that section has everything from graphic novels and comic books to some of the most high interest young adult novels. And so, this is one of the best ways to start the process of finding a book. Another fabulous adventure that you can have before school starts is a trip to Barnes and Noble. But it's a really great way to start figuring out what books a student would want or is interested in. But don't forget it. I mean, if you're already out at Walmart or if you're already out at Target, they have a great selection of high interest books. These are probably some like the number one bestsellers. And, there's that old phrase out there, that old quote that don't choose a book by its cover. And I'm going to tell you that a lot of students, even I do it, we do choose books by their cover. And so that's okay. Have them look at it, pick it up, start thumbing through it. The same thing goes for if you're going to be over at Target. They have a great selection of young adult novels. They have an entire um, section of books over at even the one in Loveland and the one in Greeley. I spent a lot of time looking at high interest books there. So I know this was a really quick video, and It is only the tip of the iceberg when it comes to this class, but please note that parents, I'm going to be emailing you every Friday through Infinite Campus to keep you updated, and it will include the school news. So hopefully that will help. Students, I'm going to be communicating with you daily. Or if it's not daily, it'll be every other day to remind you about our class expectations and assignments that will be due. I can't wait, obviously, to be back in person so we can be with each other. But first and foremost, I just wanted to introduce myself and tell you how excited I am for the second semester of the 2020-21 school year. Don't forget, though, we need a book by January 11th, so have fun doing that as well. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Thanks for stopping by.